Welcome once again to the Donut Club. I'm DJ Mo. Today we're talking about Noah. Sort of. Mostly God, but Noah's in there too. So, because the story's too long, I'm going to summarize most of it. Just because time constraints. It says, this is the account of Noah in Genesis chapter 6. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked with God. Skipping down, now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and was full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make it with rooms, and cut it with pitch inside out. And so therefore he goes and gives Noah all of the directions on how to build the ark, how big it's going to be, all the animals, where they're going to come from, where they're get the food and all this stuff. He's giving them all the very specific and detailed instructions. And then at the end it says Noah did everything just as God commanded him. Now, I have to back up a little bit. I'm trying to, sometimes, I have to think, how did Noah react when God told him, I'm going to destroy the whole earth? Was he like, okay, I understand, everything's pretty evil, or was he like, are you serious, God? Like, you're going to do that? Like, did he even have a clue? Like, how did he take that news? It's pretty devastating news. And then, the whole water falling out of the sky thing, he'd never seen that. How did he imagine rain at that point? Like, he had never seen it before. Did he see it like we see, like, little drops, or did he think, like, waterfalls coming out of the sky, or... we don't get that information. It just simply says, Noah did everything just as God commanded him. That's all we know. Which is probably all we need to know, because the rest of that stuff is kind of useless information. But he did exactly what God told him to do. So then after it was all built and everything, God told him to go inside and all that stuff. And it says again in chapter 7, and Noah did all the Lord commanded him. And so they were sitting in the boat for 7 days. No rain or anything. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were making fun of him at this point. Being like, so you finally built all this ark, and then you had a bunch of animals come up, that was amazing, but still. But they were in the ark for 7 days, and then it started to rain. And rain. And rain. What? It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, which caused the entire earth, even to the tallest mountains, to be completely covered. Everything was destroyed. It even mentions the birds were destroyed and everything. Plants, everything, gone. But Noah and his family and the animals on the ark escaped all this natural disaster because Noah did what God commanded him to do. And this is what Genesis 8:1 is one of my favorite verses in the whole Bible. This is what it says. That God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him on the ark, and he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters receded. You're probably thinking, why is that your favorite verse? This is kind of the crest of the story. Like, you have Noah building everything, and you have everything flooded, and then this is the part where the story starts to descend. This is the peak of this story. This is where it turns around. And it's the concept of God remembering Noah. Now, obviously, God did not forget about Noah. God doesn't forget anything. He's omniscient. He knows everything. But this word, zakar, in the Hebrew, connotates the idea of remembering so as to call on an action. But God did not forget about Noah, so he sent the wind. And this is where I pull my little donut out for this time, which I'll come back to. We're going to finish the story first. So the water starts to recede, and Noah sends out a raven. Couldn't find anywhere, it came back. Sent out a dove, it came back. Yeah, he sent it out again, and it brought back a little olive branch, like some olive leaves or whatever. And then he sent it out again, and it didn't come back because it found somewhere to nest. And Noah's like, okay, it's time to get off the ark. They go off the ark, and the first thing Noah does is he builds an altar to the Lord, and he sacrifices, burns a sacrifice to the Lord, and worships God. And God puts a rainbow in the sky, so to be a sign for Noah that he will, or to all humanity forever, that he will not destroy the earth by flood ever again. He was never going to do that again. No matter how bad things got, he wasn't going to do it again. But going back to my donut hole thing, God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark, and he sent a wind over the earth and the waters receded. This to me is one of my favorite verses and a very comforting verse. This idea that God doesn't forget about us. Even though he might send us through the storm, but he'll let us go through trials and tribulations. It produces perseverance and all that stuff. I talked about it. It helps us grow. But he's not going to leave us in the trials or temptations. He's not going to just forget about us and leave us be. He's going to remember us. He's going to fight on our behalf. He is with us. He is for us. And don't ever think that you're alone, because God is with you. He is holding you. He is watching out for you. He will remember you. Don't forget about God, because he does not forget about you. So that's all for today. If you've got another comment on what you get out of the story, like your own donut hole or whatever, let me know. And if you have any questions or anything you want me to talk about, you can email me. And I'll put a link in the description below that sends you to places where you can see what the ark probably looked like. You can find out more information, how many animals would be on the ark, and all that stuff that I wasn't able to talk about. You can go to this website to find all that information out. So until next time, you probably should go eat a donut or something. Somebody needs to eat a donut.